How y'all doing? All the way from St. Louis, the Brown family love y'all. All respect. Man, y'all kept this alive for all the families. We love y'all. We really do. We love y'all so much.
The mother of Michael Brown Jr., Sister Leslie McSpat.
Hey, New York. Washington. Thank you. Wow. What a sea of people. If they don't see this and make a change, then I don't know what we got to do. Thank you for having my back.
Well, let's start with the mother of Eric Garner, Miss Gwen Cobb.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's just so overwhelming to see all of you who have come to stand with us today. I mean, look at the masses. Black, white, all races, all religions. This is just a great moment. This is a history-making moment.
That's right, Mom.
And you know, we need to stand like this at all times. You know, and you know, our sons, you know, they may not be here in body, but they're here with us in each and every one of you. Y'all brought them here today, okay? And I thank you. I thank you so much. Because without you, we would have an empty podium, okay? But we just love y'all so much. And like Reverend Al said, we will come here as many times as it takes. We will come here over and over and over again. But the next time we come, we don't want to come, you know, when we come, we want to come for a celebration, not an assassination, okay? So, again, we thank all of you, and we hope we're here for justice. We hope they hear our voices. You are helping us have our voices heard. And as when we go home today, we hope that they have heard our voices, they yield to our commands, because no justice, no peace. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
The wife of Eric Garner, Esaw Garner Snipes.
Hello, everybody. Thank each and every one of y'all for coming out here, because like I said in the beginning, my husband was a quiet man, but he's making a lot of noise right now, and his voice will be heard. I have 5 children in this world, and we are all fighting for everybody, not just for him, for everybody's future, for everybody's past, for everybody's present, and we need to make it strong. And I just want to hear everybody in unison say, I can't breathe. They took my breath away. I can't breathe. Thank you.
just laughing right now. But I just want to thank everybody who just supported us. And, you know, my father, he was a great man. The way that the media is portraying him to be, he wasn't that man. He was a family man. He loved his family. He did anything for his family. He loved his kids. He did anything for his kids. And that's all I wanted to say. And thank you for the support. And I can't breathe.
I wanted to say, we came to justice.
Amen.
Can't breathe.
The mother of Tamir Rice, who has come from Cleveland, just yesterday the autopsy released, but with her heart pain, she wanted to stand with the people today. Give a big hand, Sister Samaria.
Good afternoon, family. We all family here, right? I just want to thank everybody for coming out, for all your support, and across this nation. We will get justice for our children. Believe that. Like Reverend Al Sharpton said, the autopsy came out. So I'm sorry.
You got it. Okay.
Like Reverend Al Sharpton said, the autopsy came out. My son's death was ruled as a homicide, like everyone should know. And with that being said, let that officer get arrested and bring him in front of a criminal jury so he can get the opportunity to prove his innocence. And we can prove our justice. My son was 12 years old, just a baby. My baby, the youngest out of 4. And he is here with me right now, and this is what he will want me to do. I want to thank the nation and the world for the support, because that's the only way I'm standing up right now. That's the only way. And for everybody that don't know, I'm a mother that I keep my kids away from toy guns, water guns, BB guns, because boys of all color, they just like those type of things, you know? They just like those type of things. And 12 years old, had a promising future. A promising future. What else? May God bless this nation, all the families, we share the same pain, all the mothers across the world that got shootings and police shootings for their sons. Hands up, don't shoot. I can't breathe.
We got your back.
Please don't shoot. I want to grow up too.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Thank you, family.
Give Sister Rice a hand. The family of John Crawford, the father who lost his son, a toy gun in Ohio.
Racist Greene County.
Hello, my name is John H. Crawford, Jr. I'm the father of the slain John H. Crawford III, who on August 5th was murdered in the biggest retail store in the entire world. That'd be Walmart. Let me say the name loudly for you. Walmart, where most of America spends their money, at one time including myself, but that is no more. I'm here today to support the rest of these families in this wall of shame. I'm here today to let everyone know that my son's name, along with the rest of these families, will be vindicated. I worked under this system off and on for almost 20 years under the criminal justice umbrella. And never before have I been so ashamed that the same system that I carry out my duties is the same system that I'm receiving injustice for. The same system that we all are receiving injustice for. I would like to let everyone know to please stay focused. Don't forget the name John Crawford III. Don't forget Walmart. Associate the name with the place. He wasn't killed at a department store. He wasn't killed on the street. He was killed at the biggest retailer in the world. And we didn't get even one condolence. Walmart was under no prohibitions whatsoever to not release the footage when he was murdered. But did they do so? Absolutely not. Did we get I'm sorry, our deepest condolences? Absolutely not. Shame on you. Shame on you, Walmart. Shame on Walton family. But I tell you, please, to stay focused of what's going on, really. What's going on is simply we have prosecutors who are not prosecuting. We have prosecutors who are not prosecuting. These cases, most of which behind me are what we call closed me cases. They open and shut. These cases shouldn't even make it to the federal level. Let's just be frank about it. They should be handled on the state level. The Attorney General can handle most of these cases. So let's please stay focused on that. We need for you to continue to apply pressure where pressure is needed. When we have people in office who are not doing their job, that is the biggest injustice we can have. When you don't have an equalitarian agenda in Congress, see, it goes from the inside and works its way on the outside. When you don't have balance on the inside, you're surely not going to have balance on the outside. So we need more people. We need more people. We need a more diverse community within Congress to make things happen. And I'm going to close it by just saying that we thank you. We are eternally grateful. And don't forget my son's name. And they all will be vindicated. Thank you much. Did you want to say anything?
How y'all doing? My name is Carlos Ball, and I am the brother of Kerry Terrell Ball, Jr. And I know a lot of y'all might not know who he is, but see, St. Louis City Police never wanted the nation to know about this story. They shot my brother 21 times, man, while he with his hands up. Standing over him with 18 of them bullets, man. Bullet holes in the ground where his back, where they went through his back. And since the day he died, I've been determined to get his story out here, man. I ain't been playing. This done broke my mama and my daddy down, and we still fighting and protesting, so I'm going to put it on my shoulders. If my parents are hurt right now, with that being my brother, as long as there's breath in my body, I'm going to keep on fighting, man. I'm going to fight with these families, with all these families, because we're going to get justice for them. So I want y'all to remember this name. Y'all know it now. It's Kerry Ball, Jr. And we're going to keep on fighting, man, because the prosecutor in St. Louis did not indict the officers after 6 months of so-called investigation. But we ain't stopping. We taking it to a higher authority because we refuse to be content with them telling us no and to start trying to make us accept these civil suits. We don't want that. We want indictment. Send them to jail. I love y'all. Justice for all.
Just under a month ago, in a public housing in Brooklyn, New York, the Pink Houses, a young man was killed named Gurley. We in National Action Network responded to his partner. He has a 2-year-old child that she will have to explain what happened to their daddy. They're trying to get all kind of disputes going. But she said, I don't care about disputes. I want justice for my baby and justice for my partner who I bared this child with. She rode down here with this baby to stand up in the nation's capital for him. Give them a hand as this family comes. Kimberly.
I thank everyone for the support. We really appreciate it. A cop was killed by a police officer for no reason, walking down the stairs on his way home. All I really need right now is justice. How do I explain to his 2-year-old that daddy's not coming home? So as we yell justice for Akai Gurley, I'm also yelling justice for Kyla Gurley as well. Thank y'all for the support. Keep the spirit alive. Unity, education. United we stand. United we fall.
All right. We have this young man that was, many of you saw, he pulled in a gas station in South Carolina, and for no reason, a state trooper shot him. And he said, why did you shoot me? He's here in Washington today with us, saying, hands up, don't shoot. Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! LeVar Jones.
Our family taught us that the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endureth until the end. America, I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching. LeVar Jones took this march like everyone else, and it seemed like we were in a race to get somewhere. It seemed like we were in a race to get to the same spot, and the spot wasn't the stage. I don't believe so. We're in a race to get to justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. The officer in this case was terminated. The officer in this case was charged. The officer in this case was arrested, and we are waiting for justice. We are waiting for a grand jury indictment, and the details are yet to come.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and putting themselves in something bigger than themselves. On September 4th, my life changed. God showed me that there's a reason for me to be here, not just as a black man, but as a human being. All right? All y'all out here, when you leave here, don't let it end here. Okay? Can I see the hands of black men here that whenever they get pulled over by the police, they automatically get nervous? Now, I know we got supporters of all kinds out here. So, how many of our white or Caucasian supporters out here get nervous when they get pulled over by a police officer? Okay. Right now, we know what the problem is here. We know what the problem is. We're being targeted, okay? The only way we're going to get somewhere is if we work together and if we don't stop. As soon as you stop, it's dead, okay? As soon as you stop, it's dead, all right? I thank God every day that I'm here, okay? I believe in this movement, and I believe there is going to be change in America, okay? In America, from coast to coast, all 50 states, even in Alaska, all right? Right now, this is our team. We got to work together. We got to stay in touch. Our social networks, communicate with each other. If you meet someone out here, meet them, greet them, exchange cards. Figure out how to make this network work in your community. When it comes to South Carolina, I would like to see every face out here so we can all lift our hands when we get a conviction. All right? We're going to keep them details out there, and we're going to stay active. I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and I thank y'all for your support.
Give him a hand. 1999, young man shot 41 bullets in the Bronx, New York. His mother came and stood for him. She's still standing for him and others. The mother of Amadou Diallo, Madam Katiati Diallo.
No justice? No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. We've been there so many times. It's been 16 years. Reverend Shapton, thank you for your leadership. You have been fighting all your life for righteousness and justice. You fought for my son. You fought for Sean Bell. You fought for Ramale Graham. You fought for Trevor Martin. You fought for Mohammed Ba. And the list goes on. Why are we here today? Let me tell you something. As a mother of Amadou Diallo, I know in 2000, when the 4 white officers were acquitted of killing my son of all charges, I thought the world was ending. We had then a conversation that we began in this country. I want to lift this one up and show the world. Amadou Diallo on the cover of the Time magazine. What do we say in then? We said cops, brutality, and race. And today, 16 years later, we are standing still and demanding the same thing. Just think about that for a moment. Think about all these young children who were taken away from us. Put a face, humanity, behind the headlines. My son's wallet looked like a gun. When Sean Bell went out to celebrate the best time of his life for his wedding, he looked suspicious. I thought 41 bullets that was shot at my son was so much. But when Sean Bell, 50 bullets. I went to the hospital to see the survivors of that brutality and violence from police guns. I went and saw them in the hospital. They have chains on the bed. They have handcuffs. And I cried. Nobody can imagine the trauma and that for me, because I was seeing this young man for no reason being gunned down, and they came out of it. My son never lived through that. He didn't stand a chance. I'm here today to support the Eric Garner family, Michael Brown family, Tamir Rice family, and the young man who was killed in Brooklyn. You know, in the end, we all have to ask this same question: why our sons look suspicious? And why each time our sons being gunned down, they will stereotype and portrayed? Why? Leslie's son supposed to go to college, but in the news, you see something else. Trayvon Martin went out to get something to drink, but in the news is something else. Time and time again, we are going through the same history. I relive my tragedy every time, but I tell you, as long as I have bone in my body, I will not fail Amadou. I will not fail my son. I promise him that I'm going to stand for him, to speak for him, because he's no longer there to speak for himself. This sorority of sisters, we the moms, we don't want to belong to this group. We pay heavy price to be here. Many people understand. Whenever we see people in the neighborhood, they touch us and hug us, that gives us comfort. Gwen Carr, I'm sorry that Eric Garner was killed, and they told you that the officers who were responsible will not be put to trial. I am so sorry for that. Michael Brown, Leslie, I'm sorry that it has to end like this. But this is not the end, because of the sea of people who stood up, said this, we need justice. We cannot close the book. We have to carry on to justice for all, equal justice for all the victims, despite where you're coming from, whether it is Hawa or Sabrina Fulton, or Shambel Mam, or Leslie, or Gwen Carr. We are all here. And Iris Baez, I love you all. Please don't forget us. Don't forget that our sons die so that we can open up the book and review what is happening, so that we can open up conversation around the nation, so that we can start building communities, between community relations. And then finally, when that happens, when we have strong laws, when we have good cops policing our neighborhood, then we can heal, because we want to heal. We need healing, America. Thank you. God bless you.
We must hear, and we're going to hear from our partners in leadership, but we must hear from the mother who has symbolized the challenge of our time, the mother of Trayvon Martin, Sabrina Fulton.
We love you!
First of all, I love you guys too. From my family to your family, from all of these families up here, you guys mean the world to us. And if we don't know how to express it all the time, if we can't touch you all the time and take pictures all the time, just know that our hearts and our minds are with you. Got a few things to talk about since I got the mic. First thing, this guy right here to my left, Reverend Shapton, where would we be without him? People don't quite get it. They don't quite understand. They want to talk about we're not together. Look around. Amen. Look around. Take a look around. We are together. We are united. We are standing. And we are going to fight this fight together. Together. It hurts me to my heart to know that so many men are getting away with shooting and killing our young people and not being held accountable for it. But I truly believe by us being here together and united, that God sits high and looks low. Yes. Yeah. And the light is absolutely shining on what's going on. This is not something new that just started. This is something that's been happening. This is something that's been going on. It's just that some folks just woke up. Some folks just woke up and realized, hey, this race of people is being treated a little differently. We want to make sure we're not only talking to ourselves and our own groups and organizations, but we got to make sure we're talking to other folks so they understand what we're going through. Because some people don't quite get it. And so don't preach to the choir, because they get it. They understand. I don't have to tell one of these mothers up here what they going through, because they know. I don't have to tell not one single African American about racial profile. You guys know. Yeah. So what I challenge you to do is talk to somebody that does not know. Talk to somebody and make somebody else knowledgeable and make somebody else aware and educate somebody else about what you are going through. Because long as we just talk to ourselves, we're going to stay in our same circles. And we got to step out of that circle. And we got to make positive change. The last thing I want to say is, don't just come to the rally and then go home. The numbers look nice. It looks good. You guys look good out there. And we're very proud to stand here. But it cannot stop here. This has to be the start. So I'm going to challenge you also to connect yourself with a nonprofit organization. Somebody that has purpose and meaningful, and something that an organization that supports the same ideas that you have and the same goals that you have. We're going to fight this together. God bless you all. Thank you.
Sabrina Fulton, give her a hand. Let's thank the families as they step down. I want to thank the Black Eagle, who's hosting us at our request at NAN. He will bring on the National Bar Association and Brother Brooks of the NAACP, Mark Morial and Melly Campbell, who co-convened this. Judge Greg Mathis is in the house. We're going to hear from the judge. And then Reverend Jamal Bryan will send us home. I know some of you have buses leaving. Hold on. Don't leave us. Hold your bus. Tell the bus company, don't charge overtime.
I have the pleasure of introducing one more family member, the daughter, Emerald Gardner Snipes. Where is she? Emerald, you there? Please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
I just want to start by thanking everyone for coming out and supporting our families. I just want to have a little sense of silence for my dad. Hands up. No justice? No justice? No peace. I just want to start by thanking my youth huddle families. They're on the stage with me. I joined National Action Network after the march in Staten Island. I go every Saturday and every Monday to the House of Justice to figure out what I can do to make the policing better in our communities. I've come up with a list. I can't find it right now, but I'll I have it. I just came up with a few pointers that I just want to outline so that we can all work together to get these policies enforced. Public protests are important because we all have to come out and get our voices heard. And if we don't make our voices be heard, they won't listen. So we have to make them listen. We have to go out there and protest together, peacefully. Today was so peaceful. I cried the whole way from down Pennsylvania Avenue until I reached here. All the love and the support that everybody had given. We have to learn how to respect each other and learn how to speak to each other. If you don't know somebody and they're going through something, give them a hug. Say, we with you. If you need me, I'm here. Go to a young person and tell them you don't have to riot and loot and you don't have to flip cars. Because that's not what we do. That's not what my father did. My father was a family man. He wanted young men to take care of their kids. My father took care of his kids until his last dying breath. When he said, I can't breathe, he's saying, I can't feed my family because I will no longer be here to feed them. Hands up. Don't shoot. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Okay. Is there really going to be no justice? No justice? Thank you, everyone, for coming out and supporting me.
Let me bring now, and we're near the end with our speakers. I've got Judge Greg Mathis is here, Spike Lee is here, the NAACP, the Urban League. We know it's cold, and just cuddle up and warm up, and we're going to get it right. And everybody, Archie Elliott, 14 times they shot him in Prince George's County. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to the podium now, Melanie Campbell, President of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation.
No justice! No justice! I can't breathe! We can't breathe! We can't breathe! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! All lives matter! All lives matter! I want to thank Reverend Shapton for your leadership and your lifetime commitment to justice for all people, for our people. You have been there for the families of the victims of police killings and brutalities for decades. I'm going to age myself, but I can remember way back in the 1990s, you were there for the family of Philip Pennell from Englewood, New Jersey. Any New Jerseyans in the house who was killed unjustly by police? You have always been there for our community. When the cameras were off, more times than when the cameras were on. You are our go-to guy. You fight to the end, and we love you. So I want you to repeat after me. We love you, Reverend Shapton. We love you, Reverend Al. All I want to say, as we stand here today, we can look behind and we can see the Congress. Y'all see that white building back there? We're here today in solidarity with all the families representing Black Women's Roundtable and Black Youth Vote. We're here to pledge to the families that we're committed to stand in solidarity with you until justice is served. We need Congress to do their job. President Obama, Attorney General Eric Holder, they're doing their jobs, but they can't do it alone from a federal level. We need Congress to act and end police brutality and excessive force. I have two brothers standing beside me that I'm going to let spend a little bit of my time, one from a faith perspective, and that's my pastor, Reverend Tony Lee. And I have my brother, Sherman Justice, who spoke earlier with Black Youth Vote standing in solidarity to close us out. Thank you, and I love you. Tony.
But brothers and my sisters, I come today to tell you that we have got to call this United States of America into a sense of repentance. You've got to understand it. In Micah, the word says that what does the Lord require of you but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. And we have got to call this nation not just to talk justice, but to do justice. Not just to act justice, but to do justice. Not just to fake justice, but to do justice. And if it won't do justice, we'll shut this sucker down. Is there anybody here who says this nation will do justice? So we cannot stop until justice rolls. No justice? No justice?
All right. We're rolling on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Please now welcome the head of the National Urban League, my main man, Mark Morial.
No justice? No justice? No justice? I want to thank Reverend Al Shapton and the entire team at the National Action Network, but also thank the labor organizations, civil rights organizations, the young people. A big round of applause. The young people who stood up. This day has been a day where some will ask, why do we march? We march because of Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Akai Gurley, John Crawford, LeVar Jones, and Marlene Pinnock. But we also march today for the many people not named today who've been victims of police violence across the nation. We march today because it is our right as Americans to request that we have. We march today because we are united, black and white and brown and Asian. We are united, young and old. We are united to say it is time for change. We want justice, and we want it now. A generation ago, or many generations ago, the death of Emmett Till, the bombing of the 4 girls in Birmingham in the 16th Street Baptist Church, the death of Schwerner, Goodman, and Cheney, young people who gave us summer to go and register people to vote down in Mississippi, awakened the conscience of a nation. That awakening spurred a people's movement of unprecedented proportions. And that people's movement knocked down the walls of segregation, passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I am outraged by the grand jury decisions in Ferguson and in Staten Island, but I'm even more outraged by the prosecutors who mismanaged those grand juries. And that is why this movement cannot be a movement without objectives. And so I want to just share with you 10 action steps for police reform and police accountability that each of you must bring back to your local community, and we will advocate for in all 50 states of the nation. Number 1, we want widespread use of body cameras and dashboard cameras in every police department in this nation. We want an end to broken windows police strategies and the implementation of 21st century community policing strategies. We want a uniform deadly force policy that's transparent and understood by all police departments across the nation. We want all police officers to be comprehensively retrained to learn how community policing should work, to develop relationships between police and the communities they serve. We want, where appropriate, special prosecutors to be appointed to investigate police misconduct, because the relationship between local police and local prosecutors
is too close for them to always be fair and impartial. We want the FBI to create a clear and transparent reporting system for lethal force incidents involving all law enforcement anywhere in the nation. And we want a national database of citizen complaints against the police. We also want a national police accreditation system, which for those departments that don't meet this accreditation, they are ineligible to receive federal dollars. And we want this Congress that meets behind us, to pass a national, comprehensive anti-racial profiling law. No one based on race, color, creed, religion, national origin, or gender orientation should be profiled by the police. So we've come today to rally, come today to stand with these families. But brothers and sisters and ladies and gentlemen, we've come today because today is not an end, but a new beginning. The new beginning of a movement for justice in this nation. No justice? No justice? No peace. Hands up. No shoot.
The next speaker is the new president and CEO of the NAACP. Please welcome Cornell Brooks.
No justice? No justice? No justice? No peace. A little while ago, we left worn stones on a plaza, marching toward polished marble of the U.S. Capitol. And along this route, a little over a mile, we marched together. Jew and Gentile, black and white, Catholic and Protestant, gay and straight, Latino and Asian, we marched together. We, the people, marched together. We marched together a little over a mile because the distance between these 2 points is a measure of our determination. It's a measure of our commitment. It's a measure of our resolve, because we believe all lives matter. Every child matters. Every citizen matters. All of our children matter. We have been asked the question, why march? Why us? We march because when we see our children go out day in and day out, profiled, born suspect, we march because when you have 1 out of every 4 African-American young men being mistreated at the hands of the police in any given month, we march. We march when young African-American men are 21 times more likely to lose their lives at the hands of the police. We march. We march because we believe in our children. We care for our children. We claim our children. And yes, we will protect our children. You ask, why do we march? When we conducted a journey for justice from Michael Brown's hometown to the hometown of Governor Jay Nixon, 134 miles across the length and breadth of Missouri, we marched. We marched because all of our children matter. We marched, and we will yet march again. When you ask, why do we march? I answer in the words of a civil rights leader from the last century who said, we will march until hell freezes over. And when it does, we will march on the ice. Some pose the question, why us? Some say it's not your children being profiled, not your children born suspect. But I simply say to you that if you've ever held a child in your arms, if you've ever held a baby in your arms, you know that that child's name is not Democrat or Republican. The child is not called by the name of the Urban League or the NAACP. That child's name is known by God, and every child matters. We march together because we care about our children. When I came to the NAACP, my youngest son was the same age as Emmett Till when he was killed, 14 years of age. And my oldest son was 17 years of age, the same age as Trayvon Martin when he was killed. I march because of my children. We march because of our children. We stand together because of our children. And so I say to you this afternoon that as we march, let us be mindful of that great hymn of freedom. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Let us march on. Let us march on. Let us march on till victory is won. One for every child, one for every citizen, one for every person that is a member of this republic. Let us march for our children.
I am going to now bring up the legal arm of this demonstration. Three of the baddest folk that ever worked the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, you know him as the judge, Judge Greg Mathis.
Brother Shapton, the family of our fallen boys who are changing this world, and you all here today. Very quickly, I want to comment on what justice looks like or what it should look like. Justice should look like federal intervention with federal and state legislation amending the laws on secret grand juries. We want grand juries to be open and transparent. Justice should look like using the police data that we gather around the country to change police oversight and to have that oversight by those in our community. We want justice to look like the police in our community hugging us, touching us, and loving us. To love us is to be a part of us. We want justice to look like choosing employment and education for our black youth rather than mass incarceration for our black youth. We want justice to look like the stopping of guns and drugs being dumped in our communities for our young people to kill themselves with. And finally, we want justice to look like you, like me, like he, like she, like them, like they. We want justice to look like all of us so that we can get equal protection under the law. God bless, stay strong, and we love you.
Somebody on the show, Reverend Shapton, said, you know, I wish Johnny Cochran was alive. Well, he's not. But Attorney Crump is the attorney of our generation. Darrell Parks is the attorney of our generation. Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, and their new client, Tamir Rice. Ladies and gentlemen, the attorneys of our generation. Welcome, Attorney Crump and Attorney Darrell Parks.
Brothers and sisters, when Trayvon Martin's killer profiled, pursued, and shot him in the heart, we said that was bad. But what was worse was when our criminal justice system profiled Trayvon Benjamin Martin while he was laying on the ground dead in Santa Florida. And now we come to Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and they profiled us all. Y'all saw the horrific images in Ferguson when they had guns on 13-year-old children. They had tear gas and rubber bullets being shot on grandmothers. And didn't they profile us all? Because the people who came out for the killer of an unarmed teenager laying dead on the ground, they called them supporters. And when all of you came out for the black teenager laying dead on the ground, they called them protesters. When the people came out for the police officer, they got police protection. When we came out for Michael Brown Jr., we got police enforcement. So, brothers and sisters, as I stand for Attorney Parks and all these great lawyers at the forefront of the National Bar Association, you know, they demonize our children. They profile Trayvon and they demonize Trayvon, 17 years old. And then Michael Brown, they profile, they demonize Michael Brown, 18 years old. And now, brothers and sisters, we come to Tamir Rice, 12 years old, Cleveland, Ohio. Are they going to try to demonize and profile this baby? It don't matter what they say about our children, because we care for our children. We believe in our children. We love our children. And we're going to continue to stand up for our children. We're going to continue to speak up for our children. And if need be, we're going to be willing to die for our children, because they're our children. And if nobody stand up for our children, we're going to stand up for our children here on the nation's capital, in every courtroom in America. So, brothers and sisters, without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to a powerful sister, a great leader, also from St. Louis, Missouri, our president of our National Bar Association, the largest association of lawyers of color, who's going to make sure we get due process in Missouri, Staten Island, Cleveland, Ohio, and your neighborhood to wherever you're from. We're going to represent, because that's what our people expected us to do. That's why people got dogs turned on them, water hose turned on them. Not so, as Reverend Al say, we can be safe and go make a lot of money. No, we got those things, those sacrifices for us to go represent our people. And that's why I'm so proud of black lawyers all over America who say we're going to stand up for our community too. Pam Means is that kind of lawyer. Y'all give it up for our president.
Charles Hamilton Houston said that an African-American lawyer is either a social engineer or a parasite. Reverend Al Shapton, Families of America, I came to let you know that the lawyers of the National Bar Association are social engineers. We are not parasites. And when we are done marching, we will change the laws of this land so that we can ensure that not another black brother or sister is laying dead in the streets. They say to us,
And when we have police officers that de-escalate force, and in communities like the white community, like they do it in the black communities, then we'll stop speaking out. When there's a brother in the Walmart store who takes a cash register, terrorizes the whole community, fights with the police officer, tries to take his gun 3 times, but he's white and he lives, I say, give me that police officer in my community and we'll stop marching. When they apprehend a brother, like they did the white boy that walked into a theater and shot up 14 people, then we'll stop wanting to change the law. When they apprehend a brother similar to the man that went in and shot up the Congresswoman's rally, shot 4 people and a federal judge, they didn't shoot him down, they calmed him down. When they start doing that in the black community, then we'll think about telling them their system is not broken. But the members of the National Bar Association, we're going to tell you as legal scholars, the system is broken. Y'all say, take it back to the grand jury. But as a great scholar, I'm going to tell you, I don't take some back to something that's broken. I fix that which is broken. So I say reform the jury system, implement state laws that says there must be stricter mental health testing. Because when an officer sees a demon and a fictitious character in somebody, there's something wrong with that brother. There must be diversity training, not at the start, but in the middle, in the middle, in the middle, and at the end. Most of y'all were surprised that there was a no true bill. Black lawyers in the National Bar Association, we were not. Because we understood that in 1982, the Supreme Court said that if an officer felt that his life was in jeopardy, he could elevate force to that level that he believed was reasonable in order to decrease the force. We call that in law a capricious standard. It's subjective. So we're saying to the Hill, put some definition to excessive force. Put some definition to what it means to elevate force, and then train your lawyers how to de-escalate force instead of escalate force in black communities. Escalate force in black communities. I challenge every commentator that says it's okay to kill in black communities because it's a high crime rate. You get a little sensitive when we paint you with a brush that says all cops are bad. I challenge you to stop painting us with a brush that says all black people are bad. We're making a felony for another officer to watch an officer commit police brutality. You making a crime. If I go in the store with a brother, he robs and I know nothing about it, you call that felony murder. I say you should go to jail with him. And do nothing.
dead in the street because we are social engineers.
Before she spoke up, warmed this crowd up. Hey, Johnny Thompson, you can rest in peace. We got this. Where is the X Factor finalist, Stacey Francis? We were supposed to have a performance, and it's a time factor because C-SPAN and other networks are going to close out, and we just want to just say thank you. Just come out and get a round of applause. Hey, you didn't have to come. Stacey Francis, the X Factor, thank you so much for being here. Give her a round of applause. She's here, folks. That's the most important thing. All right, can't. Hold on a second. All right. Let me bring, if I can now, the president of Voto Latino, Maria Teresa Kumar.
Andy Lopez, 13 years old, shot because he was holding a toy gun on his front yard. No questions asked. His community organized. They marched to City Hall asking for justice. He was received with police snipers on their rooftop. This is my hometown of Santa Rosa, California. This is a Latino life cut too short. This is an epidemic in our country that knows no color, Latino or brown or Asian. And unfortunately, it's an epidemic that they're too afraid to address. But what gives me pleasure and what gives me excitement to know that when you look around the room right now in the halls of Washington, they don't want us in there, but we're out here. All colors and creed say not one more of our sons, our brothers, or our sisters are going to be shot dead without our being testament of what is happening. I ask today for our Latinos brothers and sisters who are afraid to come out and voice their pain. 2 out of 3 Latinos are afraid of police harassment. 2 out of 3. But they're embarrassed to come out. And I ask them today to take the strength of the mothers of Trayvon Martin, the strength of Tamir's mother, the strength of Eric Garner's mother, the strength of Michael Brown's mother, to come forth and unify with the African American community so that we can be strong together, so that there's no more injustice in our community where does not know color. Yeah, basta. Not one more. Come together. We are bigger together. We are unified together. No justice, no peace. No peace. No peace.
Congressional Representative Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, United States Congress of New York.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming out, activists, unions, leaders, civil rights. Not far from where we stand is the Supreme Court building, and engraved in stone above the entrance is one of the greatest promises ever made: equal justice under the law. We make that promise of equal justice to everyone, not some, not most, but all. So let's be clear. This march today is not against the police, it's against unfair police brutality. It's not against enforcing the law, it's for observing that great promise: equal justice, impartial justice for all. We are here today because we have ample and heartbreaking reason to believe that some do not have equal justice. Eric Garner died because he was suspected of selling cigarettes on the street. And even if he was found guilty of this offense, there is no jail time, it's just a fine. And yet Eric Garner was arrested. Eric Garner was restrained. Eric Garner was wrestled to the ground, and Eric Garner is dead. He is dead, and he was not even charged with a crime. There is something so wrong with that. It cries out to red and blue, Democrat and Republican, libertarian and liberal alike. It tells us all that there has come to be a terrible disconnect between what is just and what has become just business as usual. The corrosive effects of stereotypes applied and justice denied is a problem that is too big, too widespread, and too dangerous to ignore. It has shaken many citizens' belief in our judicial system. A record report, a recent one by the New York Attorney General, looked at the results of the 2.4 million stops that were made during the stop and frisk years. Just 6% of those stops resulted in arrests, and about half of those arrests did not result in convictions. That means that over 2,003,300,000 people, mostly black young men, were stopped for nothing. The promise of equal justice engraved above the Supreme Court is not fulfilled as long as men like Eric Garner can die for selling cigarettes, as long as children like Tamir Rice can die in a playground, as long as innocents like Akai Gurley can die on a stairway, and as long as men like Michael Brown can die on the streets. And no one is held accountable. This has got to change.
If we could now come together to close out, to give benediction. But I learned in Sunday school that a benediction is not the end. It's when you stand up and turn around and go out to do, oh, hold on a second, one change. Jamani from New York City. One more, you got it? Thank you, man. One more, and then we'll get to the benediction. Close out.
What's up, America? How you doing? I only got 60 seconds, so I'm going to be quick. Everybody keeps asking me what kind of protest it's going to be. It's the wrong question. It should be, why are they protesting? Because if you ask that question first and you fix that question, you won't have to ask why they're protesting. There won't be anybody protesting. And the last thing I want to say is we're spending a lot of time on police reform, which we absolutely should. But I don't want to get lost in the message of what's going on, because they say the police are there because the communities ask for them. That's true. But those very same communities ask for better housing. Those very same communities ask for better jobs. Those very same communities ask for a better school system, just for the building not to be crumbling. Those very same communities ask for clean streets. Those very same communities ask for economic enliftment. Why can we only hear one cry, but we can't hear the cry of all of it? So don't let them fool you. This is about generational and institutional oppression on communities in this country. We're not going to talk about one institution. We're going to talk about all institutions. I'm happy to see everybody out there. Black, white, brown, Jewish, Muslim, everyone. Keep marching for justice. Keep marching for equality. They marched before us, and we have it now. We are those that have always tried to keep America honest. Keep on. Keep strong. Peace. From L.A. to Ohio, from Ferguson to Staten Island, they gonna hear us. They gonna feel us, because we marching on righteousness and correctness.
Power to the people. Excuse me 1 second. We are missing young man Linwood Jones. Linwood Jones, if you are missing, we're looking for you. Please meet us right here at the corner to the left of the stage. My left, your right. Linwood Jones. Meet us right here at the corner to the right of the stage. Wes Bellamy is looking for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We do not bring any minutes. We're going to close out with Stacy. Do you mind we close out and then benediction? Everybody happy? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the X Factor finalist, Stacy Francis.
I just want to come over here and say we have to all go back to who we know, and that's Christ. And anytime we have a problem, we always go back to God. We have Pastor Brian here. I hope he's going to pray us out of here today. But I just want to sing a little something for you to be reminded of who lifts us up, who keeps us strong, and who can keep us going no matter what. Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you. Your peace you give me in time of the storm. You're the source of my strength. And you are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise. Come on, lift your hands out here, y'all. We got to lift our hands for the right reasons, right? In total praise to you. Amen. 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 Thank you. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can all now, with our benediction, it is not the end. You turn and go out to do the work that has to be done. To now turn us around and head us out in the right direction, the outstanding Reverend Jamal Bryant.
Nobody said the road was going to be easy. I don't believe he's brought us this far to leave us now. Would you take your neighbor by the hand? We're getting ready to go. Everybody, make sure somebody's hand is in your hand. We've come as a family. We're leaving as a family. How in the world are we going to get victory? We don't have the money of the Koch brothers. We don't have the backing of the Republican Party. How in the world are we going to find triumphant victory while it is that we're working but Congress is on vacation? How in the world are we going to get justice when families are crying, but it looks like the Senate is just laughing? But we believe the only way that we're going to prevail is our secret weapon. God has never failed us, and he's never forsaken us. You want to know whether God still works? God worked on Black Friday when we boycotted and they saw a hit by 11% because we kept our black dollars in our black pockets. They want to know whether God still works. We're not just in Washington, we're in Ferguson, we're in Oakland, and we're giving a major shout out for those who are in New York right now. Would you shout for them? This is not the end, it is the beginning. And so tomorrow is Black Solidarity Sunday. Every black denomination is lined up with us: AME, CME, AME Zion, Church of God in Christ, the Progressive Baptist, Full Gospel, Global United Fellowship, Sons and Daughters of FIPA, all of them, black Episcopalians, black Lutherans, black Catholics. Tomorrow, go to church wearing black. But I don't want you to just go to church wearing black. When you leave church, still be black. And because Hollywood didn't get the memo, Jesus is black. So I need you to please make sure that tomorrow we stand shoulder to shoulder and arm to arm. Would you bow your head? God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, the one who has brought us thus far along the way, God, we thank you because you know what it's like. You remember when Jesus was born, they tried to kill black boys, but you hid one so that there would be a leader. You remember in Exodus they tried to kill black boys, but you hid one so a leader could come forth. We thank you because sons are being birthed right now who are going to lead our generation to the next place and to a higher level. Dispatch angels right now around our sons from psychopathic, sociopathic police officers. I pray right now that you will convict prosecutors who have in fact given up the law for popularity. We pray that you will disrobe judges who are elected but have not been appointed by your glory. We thank you right now for new registered voters who are going to march in 2016 until we have righteous congresspeople, righteous senators, and a righteous president. God, we don't want just black elected officials. We want a black agenda. We want to make sure that our lives matter is not a slogan, but it is a lifestyle. Let us march on. And God, for every person who opposes justice, every person who opposes righteousness, we came to remind them, we know when they are sleeping. We know when they are awake. We know when they've been good or bad. And because they've been bad, please send black Jesus for goodness sake. Amen. And God bless you.